Good afternoon and welcome to the second day of the 2020 OCAA Women's Basketball Championships. They are taking place at the beautiful Sportsplex on the campus of St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario. Hello everybody and welcome to the second day of coverage here on We Digital Productions. My name is Dominic Papa. Certainly glad to have you along for the ride here today. We are down to the final four teams. It's going to be a great day of basketball. Two semifinal matches here about to unfold. Let's look at and see how these teams have arrived here. It all started yesterday afternoon with four games. It was the Algonquin Thunder winning game number one over the Lambton Lions. You see the score there, 66-52. The Fanshawe Falcons then followed that game up with a victory over the Durham Lords. So it's the Falcons and the Thunder in our first semifinal here. And then on the other side of the bracket, you had the St. Clair College Saints winning the 6 o'clock game last night over the George Brown Huskies. And the Humber Hawks took care of business against the Sheridan Bruins. So later on today at 6 o'clock, it'll be the host team, the St. Clair College Saints, taking on the Humber Hawks. That is the other semifinal match. So all four of these teams have qualified to play at least for a medal. Of course, all four of these teams want to play for the gold medal tomorrow afternoon. That sets up that story and how we arrived to this point. Let's take a look at our first game here this afternoon. Of course, Algonquin taking on the Fanshawe Falcons. You look at Algonquin, an outstanding regular season, a 15-1 mark. They were the East Division champions. Their statistics pretty much number one in every category over there. They looked very solid yesterday. Coach Jamie McLean has done an outstanding job with this team. They have come in very focused. Of course, Jamie McLean will face a tougher opponent today. That's the Fanshawe Falcons. He does have a game plan in place, and he feels very good about his team that's going to take care of business on the floor.
I think she's definitely one of their key players. Her and Michaela Wright are the two we got to focus in on guard-wise. I think our goal right now is to really just frustrate the two of them, give them different looks that they haven't seen before, make them have to make decisions on the fly, right? And if we can do that and make them frustrated, I think we take that sort of main engine out of their team. So our girls have been great. Yesterday after the game, they basically handled their own post-game. Like it was great. Like they're in the moment and they're so keeping together right now that I'm pretty confident that keeping them on the ground and keeping them focused won't be hard. But yeah, when those moments come, it's just dial it back in. Reminder of being in the moment together. Keep the focus, we move on.
Certainly one of the good guys, one of the premier coaches, Jamie McLean of the Algonquin Thunder, feeling very confident in his team. Of course, their opponent, 17-1 Fanshawe Falcons, no slouch team. They're only the defending champions of this tournament. They won it last year, and they are looking to repeat again this season. Again, another outstanding season for the Falcons at 17-1. Them and Humber battled it out all season long. In fact, their only loss came to the Humber Hawks. They did return the favor at home, defeating the Humber Hawks, so it's very close with the Falcons and the Humber Hawks. They'll get a crossover game here against with Algonquin. The associate coach, Danielle Clair, she's telling the girls the secret here is to keep the routine the same as if they were playing at home.
Yeah, we try our best. We try to keep our routines the same. We encourage the girls to go through the same routine as they would at home. We give them some food for lunch, buy some groceries, give them some time to do homework or to rest or whatever it is that they need. Try not to switch it up too much. But it's a different weekend. It's a championship weekend, so there are going to be a few minor changes, and the girls just have to be prepared for that.
So that gives you a little insight into this semifinal match number one. It's the Algonquin Thunder and the Fanshawe Falcons. When we come back to the beautiful Sportsplex here at St. Clair College, it's the opening tip and the call. Justin Prince and Aaron Sanders with all the action. You're watching the 2020 OCAA Women's Basketball Championships on We Digital Productions.
Hey, Herman Moore here, Detroit Lions legend and four-time Pro Bowl player. Hey, get your tickets and join me for the 15th Annual Westby Awards on Tuesday, March 10th at the Caboto Club.
The 15th Annual Westby Awards are brought to you in part by Unifor Local 444, Lucier Glove and Safety, Hotham Building Materials, AM 800 CKLW, and We Digital Productions.
you passionate about a particular sport? Would you like to combine it with your education? Are you thinking about a career in one of the many rewarding construction-related trades? Do you love subjects like science, technology, engineering, or math? Take a look at the academies of the Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board. You'll be glad you did. And years from now, you'll look back on your high school days as the best times of your life. The academies of the Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board. We're with you all the way.
Along with JP Justin Prince, this is Aaron Sanders. We welcome you back to We Digital Productions coverage of the OCAA Championships. Day 2 and Game 1 here as the Algonquin Thunder is set to do battle against the Fanshawe Falcons. JP, we're talking about two good juggernauts here today. We're talking about two disciplined teams, Algonquin champions of the East, Fanshawe Falcons, cream of the crop of the West Division. Something has to give because there's only one spot available for the gold medal game between these two teams.
This is going to be an entertaining matchup for multiple reasons. Multiple star players scattered amongst the starting lineups and on the bench. Two Coach of the Year candidates for the respective divisions. It's going to be a stellar match.
And it's going to be a stellar starting lineup for both of these clubs. For the Thunder, Rita Sebo, Sierra Peck, Ariana Gagnon, Norn Abdullah, and Michaela Branker. Sebo won the game ball for their game yesterday against the Lambton Lions. For the Fanshawe Falcons, Jessica Jordan, Michaela Wright, Shuat Anju, Allison Cotton, and Natalie Warren rounds out the starting five for the Fanshawe Falcons. Both of these clubs only one loss in the regular season, but of course when it comes to the championships, those records don't matter. What matters the most is how do you fare in the championships. Both of these clubs gunning for gold. The winner of this will play for gold tomorrow afternoon.
And remember, Fanshawe, the defending gold medalists, and Algonquin looking for their first medal since 2015-16 and the first gold since 2013-14. And one of the main consistent themes when it comes to these teams, offense. These are the #1 and 2 field goal percentage teams in the entire OCAA coming into this tournament. Also keep an eye, mind you, too, on the points per game allowed. Algonquin allowing only 56.7 entering the tournament. Fanshawe 58.1.
Yeah, that's right, and they put on a good outing yesterday. Algonquin beating Lambton to kick things off in the championship yesterday, and Fanshawe defeating Durham, which was a very interesting game there. They won that by the score of 79-70. They fended off Kendra Oliver, who's cleaned up house of the awards banquet, like I said yesterday. It was led by Shuat Anju with 21 points, two players with 13 points, and Michaela Wright and Natalie Warren. And there's Natalie Warren with the tip against Sierra Peck. And off we go in day 2 of the basketball championships. And Warren, out of the gun, scores the first basket for the Falcons. And it's very important that you get the first shot off just to create the momentum and the attitude of the game.
Especially in this type of game, and what a player to go right to. Yesterday's player of the game for Fanshawe, Warren.
Now Algonquin has the first tap of the ball. Peck kicks it outside. And as Branker fires a three, and it's short. Anju comes out of there with a rebound. Anju finding Wright.
Fanshawe quickly taking control and trying to apply the press, force Algonquin to make mistakes. One of the main things we've seen from the Thunder in their first game yesterday, turnovers were a consistent key.
There's Sebo outside Gagnon. Here's Branker, one of the leading scorers in the OCAA this year. And they find Abdullah right down to the post. They kick it outside, shot clock violation. And what do you have to say about that one?
Well, we've seen from Algonquin what they want to do offensively is try and swing the ball on the outside, work the way to the high post, then set up a pass back outside of the perimeter for the three-point shot. They just didn't keep themselves aware of that shot clock.
And Andrew kisses it off the glass, and it's 6-0 Fanshawe. And throughout this tournament, we have seen teams go off on a nice scoring run to kick things off. And Noor Abdullah breaks the scoring run here as it's now 6-2 Fanshawe. Just kicking things off here in day 2 of the championships as Michaela Wright goes all the way with the left hand.
And Fanshawe, a really stacked team when it comes to their scoring balance, and they're showing their defensive muscles here.
Andrew with the steal, sends it over to Jordan. She misses it. It's out of bounds. And with that, with almost 2 minutes into the game, a barber's chair timeout called by the Algonquin Thunder.
And that was coming with what we were seeing Fanshawe do with a strong amount of momentum to start off this ball game. And this was to be expected. You needed to have a quick start. And whoever's controlled these early starts in these types of games so far, even what we've seen in the quarterfinals for all the matchups, there was one consistent key. You start with momentum early, you're likely to win the ball game. And Algonquin knows this. They need to get momentum back because Fanshawe is forcing them to make mistakes already early. And some of the best defenders are stepping up and getting on the board, as well as the top players in the entire OCAA.
And remember, Shad Andrew was the one who stole the ball and started that fast break for the last play for Fanshawe. So obviously something you have to consider if you're Jamie McLean and the Thunder, but you have to find some ways to get close to the basket as well.
Yeah.
Fanshawe fans made the trip. We see one of their former players, Laura Berry, right in the middle. So it's easy for them to come right down the 401 to cheer on the Fanshawe Falcons. It's only a 2-hour difference from point A to point B, but it's always good to see the fans out here in support as they look to see their team win gold. Andrew's shot is missed, and Sebo comes down with the board. Inside, Peck.
And that was where they went many times yesterday, the Algonquin Thunder did. They usually have swung their offense through Peck in that high post. That time, no defense. She'll take that mid-range jumper every day.
And that cuts the lead to 4 as Jordan has the ball outside. And Natalie Warren, 8 on the shot clock, outside. Andrew for 3, and she misses it from the front. Sebo picks it up. And here's Severin off the mark. So you can see the Algonquin Thunder going outside, but haven't been able to connect for a 3. Warren up top and sends it right in. Michaela Wright scores it for 3, and an Algonquin player is down.
I don't want to see this all night. She falls all night.
There was apparently some contact down low, and you'll see this at the bottom of the replay. You see right down there contact between Warren and that member of the Algonquin Thunder just getting a bit tied up trying to battle in case that didn't drop.
It was Warren and Peck at the 3-point line.
Did you actually see the contact?
And that is a foul on Fanshawe. But nonetheless, it's 11-4 for the Falcons. And they throw the ball away right into our direction.
Yeah, that press is absolutely causing chaos here, and it seems Algonquin is just pressing right now, so to speak, in terms of trying to rush it up the floor.
The offensive foul on Shad Andrew.
Yeah, trying to get a bit of a push off, it looked like almost. If not, was nearly shuffling the feet that time.
So another break for the Thunder, and there's that arm right there, JP.
Yeah, pretty clear cut in terms of the contact with Sebo.
And the ball is almost taken away. Algonquin retains possession. Breaker on the drive, in from the right, puts it up the right hand, gets denied. They'll stay with the Thunder with 6:34 remaining in the first. You have to admire Algonquin's ability to cut right into the basket, but what's the point if you have a double team coming up right at you?
Absolutely.
A little bit of discussion between Bill Carrier and the officials.
I think it's about the distance from where he's at compared to where the inbound's going on. They want him to move back a little bit to give the inbounder space, I think.
That brings up the coach's box in the OCAA. Meanwhile, Algonquin gets a sub in, and Sebo gets the inbounds pass. Peck loses control, and the ball goes the other way. And Michaela Rankin checks back in.
Yeah, this is strong defense here, and so far for Fanshawe, they aren't allowing anything to go inside from Algonquin. They're changing things up, it seems, going instead of outside shooting to try and break into the perimeter, be more aggressive. it's just not working so far.
Fanshawe defending their OCAA championship for the second year in a row. Shuad Andrew almost got the ball taken away, goes for the teardrop. It's off the mark. Warren goes up with the rebound. Right, fires it from downtown. Put her there.
This offense is just blistering from Fanshawe. This is the best start we've seen from a road-designated team in this tournament so far, Aaron.
It's mainly the home team that's been taking care of business in this first 4 games. That shot's no good for Abdallah. Back come the Falcons. And Andrew holds on to the dribble, taps it to Michaela Wright. Andrew gets the ball back. Wright, up and no good. And this is Michaela Branca with the ball. Passes the timeline. Jody Giris. Branca with a quick pass inside. 3 on the way, yes. Rita Sebo from downtown as she's on the board.
And remember, Sebo was one of the main reasons the Thunder came away with the W yesterday. Had that strong double-double, great position on rebounds, and great outside shooting from her.
They counted that as a long 2, so it's 14-7. The shot is good as Jessica Jordan knocks it down. Full court pressure from Fanshawe. They're not letting up. Here's Peck. In and out. Warren with the rebound. Algonquin not finding answers, trying to break Fanshawe's press. Right, dribbling over Branker for the easy deuce.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see her barber's chair timeout eventually, because this is not the start Algonquin was looking for, to say the very least, on defense.
Big difference from last night as Branker's shot goes in and out, gets her own rebound, looking for the foul, but will not get it, but they will get the ball back. Halfway into the first quarter as Mackenzie Van Dyke and Ashley LeBlanche comes in. Meanwhile, for Algonquin, they get a couple of substitutions.
Yeah, you see right there on the replay, Branker, I think it was expecting someone to rotate into the middle of the key and come and pick up the player for the defense. Didn't come.
Jordan takes it away, and Andrew, she has running room. She puts it up, and it's good. And remember, this is a team that averages 82.8 points per game. They're almost on pace of that average. Jody Giris. It's no good. Meanwhile, Sylvie Strong checks back into the game for Algonquin.
Yeah, this is just, again, not been a pretty start offensively for Algonquin. They're not getting good positioning on the inside. And this is a team that, from what we've seen, prefers to take a lot of threes.
Jessica Cameron set to check in, but the 3 goes for Sylvie Strong. And again, as we have seen many a times, a lot of people would assume that's a 3, but the foot was on the line. Ball's taken away, but not before a foul is called.
Yeah, we'll have to see this here. As again, it looked like just before the potential backcourt.
And we see the tail end of that foul as Michaela Wright and Jessica Cameron checks in.
And I believe a technical may have been inserted here.
It appears to be a technical
Yeah.
foul, JP.
Yes, that's what I was just saying there. That bench had been getting a little bit emotional with some of the early plays here. But you need to keep your cool in this type of a tournament. In past events such as this, at the high school level, at the professional level, we've seen teams lose games because of technical fouls building up.
Yeah, the emotions can cost you, no question about it. In this championship, we have seen hustle, and we've also seen emotions as Sebo misses the 3. Branker tries to go for the rebound, but it's Jessica Jordan who swats it right down.
There is the counterpoint, though, that some coaches believe upon and some players live upon, is there's the chance you can fire up your squad in those type of situations, too.
Foul on the floor with 3:26 to go. And that's Sylvie Strong with the foul. And that's only their first team foul of the first. The handoff to Wright, going one-on-one with Sebo. Right outside. Into Jordan, 3 on the shot clock. Outside. LeBlanche goes in and out. And it stays with Fanshawe. You see Algonquin just overcommitting off that loose ball.
Exactly. Just didn't squeeze the ball when it went in their direction. Just batted it straight out of bounds. You need to grab those types of rebounds.
Fanshawe gets another chance at it. Algonquin's defense becoming more pesky. And this is a perfect opportunity for them to capitalize defensively. They need some options now. 3:08 remaining. Jordan the inbound. Cameron finding Wright at the top. 7 on the shot clock. She heaves it away and it goes off. LeBlanche with the rebound right from behind. Cameron tried to pass it down low, but it's batted out of bounds.
And this possession's now lasted somewhere around 40 total seconds, give or take, when you add up all the times. But again, this is allowing more second and third chance opportunities for Fanshawe to get some better looks.
This will be their 3rd possession in that time as LeBlanche gets it and sends it right over to Jordan, the inbounder. Jordan with the sky hook, off the mark. And Branker passes the timeline. Good pick from Peck. Gagnon. There's Sebo. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Branker pops up. It's no good. Jordan with the rebound. Right guarded by Sebo. Gets the pick from Van Dyke. Now she gets the ball, hands it over. Shot's no good. Loose ball on the floor. Algonquin gets it courtesy of Sierra Peck. And Sierra Peck has been one of the guiding lights here in the first quarter for Algonquin.
Yeah, active.
Branker loses control of the ball. We have a tie-up. Meanwhile, Fanshawe brings back Natalie Warren, and Taylor Hill comes in for the first time today.
Yeah, some great hustle we're seeing so far in this game. And you need to show that type of hustle. Don't allow the ball to be just quickly poked away. Force the possession arrow to decide that kind of situation.
And we've seen plenty of times the possession arrow making a huge difference in the first day of the tournament. Here's Branker outside, off the side. Rebound, Peck puts it up, but she's off to the line to shoot 2.
Good position to pick up the rebound. And for Fanshawe, it was either allow the chance for an easy 2 points for the putback or force the contact. They went with the latter option. You see there the overcommit on the defense. And quickly, immediately taking the foul, trying to not allow any chance for a layup attempt.
Thunder is 68.9% from the free throw line. That's 3rd in the OCAA as Peck knocks down the second free throw. Averages 11 points per game and shoots 71% from the charity stripe. It's a 6-point lead for Fanshawe as LeBlanche slows things down to the corner. Inside to Warren. Warren finding Cameron, and his swat is taken away, but it'll stay with Fanshawe.
A good play on the defense. Fanshawe was trying to almost keep the ball behind themselves, trying on that drive. And this is what you need to do when you're down at this point. It's a long game. Just grind it out, close the gap slowly but surely.
Meanwhile, Jody Jiris comes back into the game for the Thunder, and they have possession again. They move the ball around the perimeter. Branker will fire it for 3. It hits off the top. Second chance for the Thunder. And it's another jump ball. The Falcons get the ball back with 1:21 left.
Yeah, just again a battle for the positioning. 2 players going to the right, same spot at the same time, battling for the rebound, 50-50 situation. And here comes the press now for the Thunder.
Allison Cotton back into the game for the Falcons as they break the press. Here's Wright with a crossover dribble inside to Warren. It counts and a foul.
And that's what you want to see. That was as the press was starting to back up for the Thunder, as everyone trying to commit to their spots, Wright just able to carve through the defense, and seeing that space, Warren just was able to chase her way right to the bucket for the layup attempt.
She picked up the continuation too, and that's the three-point play as she was able to get that down. It's 23-14 with about a minute to go here in the first quarter. Day 2 of the OCAA Basketball Championships from Windsor. Abdullah fades away, and a beauty. So Abdullah gets 4 points as we're under 50 seconds. Fanshawe moving the ball around rapidly as Warren finds Cotton for the deuce.
This is great press breaking right now we're seeing for the Falcons at this point. Same thing we've seen in the previous play.
And that would be a foul on Cotton. And that'll be the third team foul.
And that puts them in the bonus, actually, Aaron, with the 15 foul. But you have to remember the technical also has been a factor in that amount as well. Just 2 personal fouls in comparison's sake for the Algonquin Thunder.
It's interesting to see Algonquin go to the line more. They're still perfect from the free throw line as they knock both of them down. Make that 6 for 6. Matter of fact, both of these clubs shooting perfectly from free throw line. Even though Fanshawe has only had 1 trip. Foul on the floor. And this time it will be Algonquin's 3rd team foul. 7-point Fanshawe lead with 28 seconds to go. 4-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Hill driving into the right, and it's taken away. Ariana Gagnon. The shot clock is dead. As here's Branker to the half-court line. Guarded by LeBlanc, gets the screen. 5 seconds to go. Pass inside, it's taken away. There's LeBlanc, she makes a wish, and it almost goes in, but that's the story for the first quarter. Algonquin with a strong run in the final 2 minutes, but it's Fanshawe who has the 25-18 lead at the end of 1. Second quarter coming up.
Hi, I'm DJ Smith, head coach of the Ottawa Senators. For the best in local sports coverage, We Digital.
Here, it's about you. Your passion, your skills, stepping up to the challenge. It's here where we rise above, soar to our full potential, and where we become work ready. St. Clair College, it's time to take flight. Rise above the ordinary.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
We're back on We Digital Productions, the 2020 OCAA Women's Basketball Championship. Day 2 as the Fanshawe Falcons lead the Algonquin Thunder 25-18. I'm Aaron with JP Justin Prince of the Mont's On Time Express broadcast booth. And the Algonquin Thunder, a really slow start to the first quarter, but they were able to finish off on a strong note. What can you take away from the stats in the first 10 minutes, JP?
Well, a couple things to take away there. First things first, it's pretty clear that the defense for Fanshawe seen that game yesterday and quickly forced Algonquin out of their comfort zone, forced them to play their own game, in turn forced the Thunder to try and go inside. Thunder responded by trying to go with a grinded out type of style offense. Another thing to note though, the Thunder defense needs to work on their interior D because 14 of Fanshawe's 25 points were scored in the paint. Algonquin just 4 inside the paint.
That's right, and It doesn't help when you have somebody like Michaela Wright going right inside of the basket. She has 12 points right now, 5 of 7 shooting.
And 2 triples, too.
As we take another look at the previous play.
Yeah, and you can see right there, Cotton quickly reaching into the Brent basket. We're quickly the first team foul of the quarter.
Second quarter underway. Algonquin trying to bounce back after being down by as much as 13. But that ball goes out of bounds, and Fanshawe has another chance at it.
Too much power on that pass attempt, and I think it was in part because of the defensive pressure, having the person to your right, forcing you to basically panic in case there's a region for a lower trajectory pass.
Fanshawe did a good job forcing them to pass it to the corner, one of the toughest spots on the court. Warren, up and it's short. Sebo comes down to the board. Sebo brings it up court, gets the fake and puts it in for Abdallah.
That fake absolutely helped that entire play because all the defense started collapsing on Sebo. That left Abdallah wide open.
Cotton with the space and the bucket. (27-20) the score. They work around the perimeter as Peck fires it away. It's off the mark. Jordan with the rebound. And Jordan sends it to Wright. Right at the corner, guarded by Sebo. 10 on the shot clock. Try to look for the pass. She hits the floor. Jordan from outside. Put her there.
And I was about to say, solid defense because could see that play coming. That swing around the pick. However, because she couldn't keep the ball, it actually made it even more of a better play for the Fanshawe offensive set.
Sebo brings it right near the free throw line and gets the tough shot to go.
Yeah, now this is the type of offense the Thunder needed. Start to take advantage of the defense. They're starting to adjust a little bit now to what Fanshawe's been showing them.
It's an 8-point game. Remember, they were down by as much as 13. Right on the dribble, fires off with the left hand, and she banks it off the glass.
Similar play on as the previous time by for the Fanshawe Falcons. That time White just got enough space to go for the drive version of it.
Branker misses the floater. Cotton is there at the rebound. Here's Jordan. Yes.
Just taking advantage of there being no defense again in that point. Looked like 2 of the defenders for the Thunder just got confused on who they were matched up to. That zone left them open.
That was Michaela Wright. She has 17 for the afternoon. Seba fires it from outside, hits the front. Warren rebounds. Sebo guarding Jordan, finding Wright again. Can she make it again? She can, as she puts it there. Back-to-back threes from Michaela Wright, and that brings a barber's chair timeout for the Algonquin Thunder.
Once again, where's the defense? Her matchup focused on trying to keep an eye on Warren. And it's either let Warren cut to the basket or let Wright go up for 3. And in turn, that shows the triples from a top 10 three-point percentage shooter in the OCAA this season.
That brings the Fanshawe Falcons three-point percentage up to nearly 56%, 5 of 9 from downtown. Take a look at Jamie McLean's huddle right now. What are you saying to your girls?
Well, for Coach McLean, I think at this point, you need to be able to keep control. This is the top team of the East Division, as you see in the standings, for example. This is a team that only had 1 loss the entire campaign. I think at this point, you're trying to, again, tell them you cannot lose focus. It's a run, yes, but you have to keep your composure. If you allow Fanshawe to get an open run like we just seen, it's going to be difficult to come back from. So at this point, you need to lock down your perimeter defense now because Fanshawe is poking holes in it, especially up at the top, and put a double team, I think, even on players such as Wright at this point, because I think single single man coverage or zone coverage, such as a 2-3 zone, Fanshaw's just taking advantage of it every single set.
And Algonquin's the only team in the East Division that is left in the tournament. The rest are all from the West Division. So they have to find themselves out of a 16-point deficit as Sebo sends it over. And Peck gets the set shot to go from near the free throw line.
Yeah, and she seems kind of like one of the options for the Thunder when the play starts to break down the outside. It seems go to Peck as the next option.
What a move from right, but she misses the finger roll. Back come the Thunder. Rita Sebo, guarded by LeBlanche. Goes for the Euro, floats it up, and that will send her to the line to shoot a couple.
Yeah, there was a lot of bodies on that part of the floor, and I think she might have seen the chance to drive and draw that contact. Yeah, right there, that up and under, just gets contact to the left side of her body, brings herself to the stripe.
She has been a master of the Euro step since this tournament began. She knocks down the first free throw. Rita Sebo, her 4th year from Quebec, 74% from the free throw line, as she knocks down both of them. And Sebo was also named the East Division first All-Star, too, in the banquet a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, along with Branker, and she's absolutely a talented player, not just when it comes to her scoring. 55% for the field and throughout the campaign. Good from out beyond the arc.
What a feed inside her right, as it's 40-26. It is taken away from Jordan, but Sebo gets it right back for the Thunder. And it's tapped out by Jessica Cameron. It stays with Algonquin as we're almost halfway into the second quarter. Michaela Branker checks back in.
I think Algonquin's pressing at this point. They're having moments where it seems like they're panicking now on offense because of the deficit. You can't panic.
Sebo gets denied by Van Dyke, and they call a foul on that. We're going to have to check the replay to see what transpired there, because from our view, it looked like a very clean block.
I have to see right here, because you see Cotton, one of the officials has the viewpoint, might have maybe got the side glance of the arm, but was close.
But it works out in Sebo's advantage because she knocked down the first free throw. This is a player that scored more than 20 points in 5 games. First in three-point percentage, 9th in total assists. And she's able to knock down those free throws. It's a 12-point game once again. Here's Jessica Jordan trying to dribble off Branker. She does. Sends it to McDyke. She fires it away, hits off the side. .5:12 to go in the half. Sebo feeding Peck, and she puts it in.
Good play to go to the low post, had the single man coverage, and got the second defender to switch over to the cutting player to make them think that was the option.
Jordan's shot from outside is no good. Wright picks up the rebound. It's Cameron's turn, but gives it to Van Dyke. Almost connects.
Good offensive set, just rushed on the jump shot in open space.
Brianna Thompson with the rebound. Here's Branker again, trying to feed Thompson, but that goes out of bounds. Fanshawe ball as Natalie Warren is set to check back in. We have a quick conference, and the official rule has been overturned. It will stay with Algonquin.
Yeah, I was going to say that looked like it went off the fingertips of a Fanshawe Falcon out of bounds there.
And Dominic Papa will have Danielle Carrier, the assistant coach of the Fanshawe Falcons, coming up on the We Digital halftime report, which is 4 minutes and 24 seconds away. Peck finding Abdallah. She misses it. She just got back into the game, but that would have been a good look as the Falcons bring it up court. Right to Warren. And Sebo picks it up, and Abdallah is down. And she will slowly come right back to the other end of the court. Sebo fires away, too many steps.
Yeah, pivoted to right foot, it appeared, from our angle when trying to go for that step back. And that defense was just smothering her in that situation, kind of forced her to rush for the step back, and in turn forced the travel.
Fanshawe did a good job putting that coverage right on her. And now they have a 10-point lead. Anjou guarded by Sebo. Jordan dribbling right inside in from the left. Thompson almost takes it away, but Fanshawe keeps the possession. That's Brianna Thompson, her first year from Orleans, Ontario. Played 15 of the 16 games in the East Division this year. Anjou met by the double team. 6 on the shot clock. Warren going to work, and it's poked away by Peck. Algonquin could cut this deficit to single digits. Peck bats away the ball and draws the foul on Jessica Cambrett.
Yeah, it looked like Peck didn't have the best of handling there of the ball after the pass, and you see right there, she's seen a chance to rip it away instead, trying to rip at the arm instead of the basketball.
Next foul will put Fanshawe over the limit. And Algonquin, no team fouls in the second quarter. Sebo thought about the shot, but sends it over. Peck can control the ball. She saves it, however, and it goes through Thompson's legs. Warren picks it up. 3 minutes until halftime. Right with the Euro step and all, and banks it in.
Yeah, part of the reason why they don't have any fouls, Algonquin, when it comes to their side of the ball, they aren't trying to get close to defenders.
And Sebo with the Euro in the feed to Brianna Thompson.
Yeah, that time they got separation on the offensive end, but you see the separation on defense. Compare that to Fanshawe. Fanshawe's not allowing them any space to work. The Thunder are trying to force them to throw the ball away to them by being in the right positioning.
And Algonquin was able to force them to shoot a 3. They have the ball again, 2:13 to go. Top side, Sierra Peck. Peck driving, puts it up, and fouled. Free throw line, and they will be in the bonus for the next 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
This might be one of the ways for them to get back into this game. 3 different defenders down low, and Peck was smothered the second she crossed inside the three-point line. At that point, nothing you can do but try and prevent the easy bucket if you're LeBron.
Sierra Peck knocks down the first free throw. 71.2% from the line is Peck. Had a double-double and scored more than 10 points in 10 games and played all 16 games. The second free throw doesn't go for her as Anjou brings it up court to the far side. Gets the crossover dribble on Branker, flips it up. It'll stay with Fanshawe.
Good defense from the Thunder, especially Peck, as Anjou was able to step through the defense, but Peck just was able to deflect it out of bounds.
Under 2 minutes to go in the half. The shot is good as Jessica Jordan knocks it down. 44-33. Sophie Strong set the check back in for Algonquin. There's the 3. It's off. And Warren with no problems at all getting the rebound. And Anjou loses control of the ball. That's a rare mistake from Fanshawe.
Yeah, too quick on the pass, but on the previous play, I liked the shot selection that time, but the extra pass for the open 3. Just couldn't get the proper release on that one.
The winner of this game will go play for the gold medal tomorrow afternoon at 3. The shot is no good, but there's a whistle down on the post. And that is not good. And that's Sierra Peck, who is right down for the ball.
And this is why you can see right there on the drive.
Yeah, and there it is right there.
Oh boy.
She landed on Warren's foot. And Sierra Peck was having a good game, no doubt about it, for the Algonquin Thunder. Semi-final number 2 is at 6 p.m. The Humber Hawks will play against the St. Clair Saints. The winner of that will play for the gold medal tomorrow. The loser of that game will play for bronze tomorrow as well. So be sure to stick around for game 2 of our semi-final matchups here on We Digital Productions.
Yeah, in regards to that game, it should be an absolutely competitive one, but it's going to be a tough one, especially for St. Clair, because we've seen how much depth there is on the Humber Hawks when it comes to their offense. Multiple players in double-digit points in their quarterfinals matchup, and multiple players who can go off at any time.
Once again at halftime, Danielle Carrier, the assistant coach of the Fanshawe Falcons, will join Dominic Papa for the We Digital halftime report. They get back to the second matchup this afternoon, JP. The Humber Hawks won the regular season series 2 games to nothing. And the last time they were here was a few weeks ago, pretty close, as St. Clair lost by 7. Sierra Peck is able to get right back up. You have to imagine she'll take a couple of moments off the court to tend to the lower body injury. Halftime is coming up, however.
In regards to Peck, a strong game overall. Either way, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists on the stat line. And she's been a crucial part of the offense in the high post because a lot of the offense runs through her. It's either many times we've seen a pass back outside to set up an outside shot or a cut back inside for that respective player, or her going for a jump shot a few steps inside the arc or trying to spin in the low post. She's a big part of this offense, as we've seen so far for the Thunder throughout this tournament.
So the Algonquin Thunder is going to the line as Ariel Gagnon will shoot the free throws for Sierra Peck, and she shoots 50% from the free throw line. She knocks down the first. And Gagnon's has a very impressive season. This is her second year from Timmins. Started 1 game, played a total of 14, and the second free throw is no good. Anjou cross courts to Jordan. Jordan feeds it. 2 passes later, it's over to Anjou. 8 on the shot clock. She's driving right in from the left. Falls away, it's off. Van Dyke tried to go for the rebound, but Siebel out-rebounds her. Final minute of the play here in the first half.
Have to think smart on this one.
And here's Strong, spins around, fades away, off the mark. And Jordan sends it to Anjou again. She weaves through the defense as LeBlanche floats it up off the mark. In good positioning from Brianna Thompson for that rebound. Sebo and the Thunder trying to cut this lead into a single-digit lead. Shot clock, game clock, 7-second difference. Shot clock at 9. And Algonquin heads back to the line.
Yeah, and Branker, we've seen that play a couple times this tournament. When she gets the ball at the top, the first option is go for the triple. The defense was there quickly, though. She elected to try and go for the drive, and right there, that spot with the right hand, too much contact, allows Branker to go to the strike.
That was from Taylor Hill. She picks up her first foul of the afternoon, and Branker knocks down the first free throw. Branker had a season-high 32 points against Georgian back in November. She knocks down both free throws, and it's now 44-36. 9 seconds. Jordan the Van Dyke tries to feed it into Hill, but it's taken away. 2 seconds to go, and they will hold it. And that ends the first half as the Fanshawe Falcons lead the Algonquin Thunder 44-36. Stand by for Dominic Papa and the halftime report. That's next.
On Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAT, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
Welcome back to our halftime report here at the St. Clair College Sportsplex. We continue our coverage of OCA Women's Basketball Championships. Danielle Carrier is a third-year associate coach with the Fanshawe Falcons. And Danielle, what a great year for your team again. 17-1. You're on the brink of getting back to a championship games, and you're the defending gold medalists. What's it like being part of a team like that?
It's something special, really. We've got a great group of girls willing to leave it all on the line for their teammates and for us. We work really hard in practices all year long. It's a great atmosphere, a great culture we have here with the program, and it's exciting stuff.
Coach Carrier, Bill Carrier, he made it clear that this is all about team. How much of that is emphasized throughout the year, and how do you make it all team?
Well, we're together hours and hours of a week throughout the whole school year. It's a very long season, and so we really encourage the girls to see this as their second family, because really we spend a lot of time together, and if it's not team first family attitude, it's a really long season and it's hard for us to be successful.
It's building a culture, and you look at the Fanshawe culture right now, Danielle. 3 medals in the last 3 years, a couple of bronze and the gold last year. Is there a certain player that you look for in your recruiting process?
We're obviously looking for talent, but again, we want someone who will fit our culture, and if that person maybe isn't the most talented but has great attitude, really willing to work hard for their teammates, we look for that as well. We're a very defensive-oriented team, so a player that works hard on defense and is willing to sacrifice their body for the team, that's someone that we keep our eye on.
So how do you teach a culture like that? Like, when does it start? You get them into the Fanshawe atmosphere there, and how do you go about teaching that?
I think a lot of team-building activities, we get on our players if we see any little bit of negative attitude towards their teammates. We host a lot of events. The coaching staff we're all family, and we like to host family dinners and team dinners and stuff like that, so we make sure that it's more than just basketball.
The players, chemistry is a huge part of success for any team in any sport. Same thing in basketball. How does the chemistry kick in once you get all the family, teachings down pat? Then there has to be the chemistry off and on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's a long season, and we try to mix up our lineups and who's playing with who during practice, and we just try to get all of our girls comfortable with each other, and hopefully things work out for the best.
You always seem to get a blue chip player at Fanshawe. I've been following, watching the OCA basketball for a few years now, and this year is no different. You got a young lady by the name of Shuad Anju who's pretty special. She's a pretty good player. Getting those type of players and knowing that they're going to be that blue chip player that can carry Fanshawe. Where do you find that?
We get lucky sometimes, to be honest. Chua, a native of London, I actually went to high school with her. We were lucky that she had made her way back home and chose to play with us at Fanshawe. With our culture and our program, I think having the success that we have in the past, it kind of draws those players in a little bit more. So again, we've been lucky to have some players show interest in our program.
Yeah, and again, you look at this year's team, and the depth is there, the talent is there. What type of a stamp do you put on this team?
Like I said in the beginning, we're a pretty special group, and I think if we work together and we run our stuff and we play like we can go a long way. We're
at the end of this tournament here. You're knocking on the door again. What is key when you get to this point? You experienced it last year. You went through it all. What a gold medal. Obviously, you take those memories and that learning process. Is it the same? Do you bring that same type of mentality this year?
Absolutely. We know there's a lot of talented teams here this weekend, so we can't take any team lightly. Coaches work hard to prepare film and scouts for our next game moving forward. The girls work hard to prepare themselves mentally, and we come every day ready to play.
How important is it? I mean, you're in a different gym. I mean, Fanshawe is home, and I'm sure you have your daily routines there, your total comfort level. You have to come to another gym now, set up shop here. I'm guessing, just covering sports for a long time, a lot of teams try to bring the home back here to where they're at. Is that the case here with Fanshawe?
Yeah, we try our best. We try to keep our routines the same. We encourage the girls to go through the same routine as they would at home. We give them some food for lunch, buy some groceries, give them some time to do homework or to rest or whatever it is that they need. Try not to switch it up too much. But it's a different weekend. It's a championship weekend, so there are going to be a few minor changes, and the girls just have to be prepared for that.
Of course, you played a few years ago now. It goes by fast. But do you ever get the urge to want to play some of these girls one-on-one?
Absolutely. Sometimes I jump in at practice if maybe we're short a few bodies or looking for an extra player. It's always nice to get back out there, but coaching is the next best thing, and I'm happy to share my experiences with them.
Do you beat them?
Sometimes.
Okay, good stuff, Danielle. Congrats on everything. Good luck the rest of the way here. Appreciate you giving us some time here today.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Danielle Carrier, the hardworking associate coach of the Fanshawe Falcons. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll continue our coverage of the 2020 OCAA Women's Basketball Championships on We Digital Productions.
Hey, Herman Moore here, Detroit Lions legend and four-time Pro Bowl player. Hey, get your tickets and join me for the 15th Annual Westby Awards on Tuesday, March 10th at the Caboto Club.
The 15th Annual Westby Awards are brought to you in part by Unifor Local 444, Lucier Glove & Safety, Hotham Building Materials, AM 800 CKLW, and We Digital Productions.
Are you passionate about a particular sport? Would you like to combine it with your education? Are you thinking about a career in one of the many rewarding construction-related trades? Do you love subjects like science, technology, engineering, or math? Take a look at the academies of the Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board. You'll be glad you did. And years from now, you'll look back on your high school days as the best times of your life. The academies of the Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board. We're with you all the way.
In Windsor, Ontario, the 2020 OCAA Women's Basketball Championships continue on here. This is semifinal game number one. The Fanshawe Falcons taking on the Algonquin Thunder. We're at halftime. The Falcons have grabbed an 8-point lead, leading 44-36. Royal Church, our basketball insider, is joining us here at halftime. You're enjoying this game, aren't you?
I am very, very much, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm watching two of the outstanding coaches in the country. I'm watching a very disciplined set of teams go at it. They don't make mistakes. They run their stuff the way they're supposed to. And they're obviously two teams with tremendous IQs.
Mm-hmm. Let's get right into some of the highlights, Royal, and take a look at some of the action. The one girl that I know Coach McLean of Algonquin was concerned about was Michaela Wright, and she's full value. I mean, she's hitting threes.
Michaela Wright is one of those players, Dom, that you don't notice if you're just the average fan coming to a game for the first time. She doesn't stand out. She does everything quietly, but everything well. 24 points and a half. She doesn't do that very often, but often enough that you do have to be concerned about her. I think it's not necessarily, there she is again, Dom, going to the hole, dishing it off to Natalie Warren, who scores. She's just the heart and soul of that Fanshawe team.
Here she's going to set her up for a three. And again, as you mentioned, 24 points in that first half. Pretty impressive by Michaela Wright.
I think she made 3 threes in a row, Dom.
Yeah, she was impressive. And of course, for Algonquin, Peck and Sebo are key players. There's Peck getting a couple of baskets. She's inside, getting inside. She's getting some good looks at the rim, Royal.
Yeah, she's she's a nice player. She played ball yesterday for him early in the game, got him off to a good start. They're such a solid team. Of course, you and I both have met Jamie McLean, and we were both impressed.
Outstanding
He's
man.
just a great basketball mind and a wonderful person. And he made a quote to both you and I about he looks for players with great IQs. And his players are smart and they know how to play the game.
Here's the numbers from the first half. Just a quick glance at them. You look at the free throw differential, Royal. Algonquin's been at the line 16 times. Fanshawe just one time at the line. Pretty interesting that way.
I think Bill Carrier is a little frustrated at that, Dom, because they've got an 8-point lead, but this Algonquin team are hard to shake, Dom. They just keep coming at you, and they get down 15-16, I think, in the first half at one point in time. Came back. Now they're within 8 points, so they're within striking distance, and it doesn't look like they played very well, but they have.
Yeah, no, they're relentless. That's for sure.
Yes.
And again, they don't fold up. They bend, but they don't break, as they always say.
Perfect.
The field goal percentage pretty high for Fanshawe at 50%. 3-point field goals. Again, Fanshawe leading in that category.
Yeah.
It looks like maybe Algonquin's more of an inside team. Fanshawe is okay with the 3.
Yeah, that's sort of the way it's shaping up today, Dom. Doesn't always shape up the way, the way you said about being an inside team or an outside team. I think the Thunder are very flexible. But today, their inside game is excellent.
Okay, let's get into the coaches' minds here, Coach Church. If you're Coach McLean of Algonquin, what are the girls? What's he telling the girls and emphasizing for the second half?
Well, he's got to do something about Michaela Wright. He's got to guard her a little closer on the perimeter and make her take the ball to the basket and contend with Algonquin's bigger players.
Okay.
He's got to stop her. He's got to be aware that Chouad Andrew could break loose anytime.
She's been
Natalie
quiet.
Warren.
Okay.
So he's got some things to be concerned about.
And quickly, Bill Carrier, you got to be happy with the lead at the half, but still some concern, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure Bill feels like, wow, they played one of the best first halves of the entire season, Tom, and they played well. I've seen them play a lot, so have you. And they're only up 8 points at the half, so they've allowed Algonquin to be within striking distance, and Fanshawe's played really, really well. So what's that tell you about Algonquin?
They're a pretty good team.
Yeah, so Bill's got to get his kids to turn it up a notch.
Okay. Good stuff, Royal. We'll check in with you again
Thanks,
in
Tom.
the other semi. That's our basketball pro, Royal Church. When we come back to the Sportsplex, the call of the second half, this is the 2020 OCAA Women's Basketball Championships on We Digital Productions.
Here, it's about you. Your passion, your skills, stepping up to the challenge. It's here where we rise above, soar to our full potential, and where we become work ready. St. Clair College. It's time to take flight. Rise above the ordinary.
It's time for the third quarter. The Fanshawe Falcons lead the Algonquin Thunder 44-36. Welcome back to the Monts On Time Express broadcast booth. I'm Aaron Sanders with JP Justin Prince. And game one of day 2 of the OCAA Women's Basketball Championship. Let's quickly take a look at some of the stats that stood out to your mind, JP. The Algonquin with a strong run to end the second quarter, but Fanshawe still has the 8-point lead. So let's talk about that second quarter real quick.
Well, that second quarter was really good for Algonquin, but as it was talked about by Royal, it's been a very good game on both ends of the floor for Fanshawe. The thing is, the Falcons need to turn it up a notch, as well as find a way to get themselves to the free throw line, I think, to be able to pull away. It's hard to get yourself an advantage when you allow 16 free throw attempts and only take 1 for yourself. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them try and draw more fouls.
The steal by Gagnon. And Branker brings it up. Sebo with a fake, driving over Jordan, and feeds it to Peck. and she misses it. Keep in mind, Sierra Peck rolled her ankle in the stages of the second quarter, and now she was able to come right back in. Quick tie up, it will stay with Algonquin. And we saw early on, before we came back on the air, Sierra Peck testing out her ankle down to the far side of the bench.
Yeah, jumping on that ankle, making sure it would be able to handle being able to be back on the floor. She played all but 1 minute overall in that first half.
Sebo inside the drive, and she draws the foul. It appears to be on Michaela Wright.
To get back to the importance of Peck here, as you see the reason of the foul here, just that late reach in to be able to not allow the easy layup that time from Wright. It was all but 3 minutes overall that were played yesterday, we've seen from Peck. Overall, just missing 4 total minutes this entire tournament so far. That should say a lot in how important she is in terms of this offensive system for Coach McLean.
Peck averages 11 points per game. Sebo knocks down both free throws. And it's a 6-point Fanshawe lead. Jordan trying to find Warren, but it's smacked out of bounds by Sierra Peck.
And just had the size advantage that time. Peck guarded up against the point guard.
With those free throws from Sebo, she ties Sierra Peck for the most points scored in the game so far, 11 for Algonquin. Shot clock winding down. Wright loses control of the ball. And Algonquin could cut this down to a single possession game.
Great defense out of the half from Algonquin, and this is something I think they needed to do. Bring some more pressure, some double teams like that. They would like to do it on Andrew to try and break up the offense of the best player in the OCAA this season.
Sebo fights through Andrew, puts it up and in over Natalie Warren. And it's a 4-point game. The pass back to Jordan. Andrew for the 3. Yes.
Great pass to be able to get some space outside for the quick 3 back.
And Gagnon will take a 3 of her own, and it goes.
That was the case of a size mismatch there too. Guarded by a big man, just quickly taking 3 before anyone can rotate out or point to their strengths.
Andrew outside, no good. And Sebo gets the rebound.
Big possession, have to be smart.
Peck up and in, and it's a 2-point game as the Thunder cut it down. 47-45. And it's taken away. Algonquin, Peck for the tie. She misses it.
Too much defense coming from behind, forced her to hurry and rush that shot.
Wright fires it, misses it. Branker down with the rebound. Sebo at the corner, same with Gagnon. Peck. Sebo for the tie, but outside. Gagnon for the lead. Got it!
Smart pass, smart play. What a way to get the defense to overcommit to the paint.
This is Algonquin's first lead in the game. Jordan to Warren and gets smacked. There's a foul on the play.
Yeah, and there's been pressing matters here. You see right there, that defense coming from Jordan. She tried to help with the paint. That leaves Gagnon wide open from beyond the arc. And as seen in the quarterfinals, when you leave her open, she'll take a lot of attempts from 3.
Gagnon is 2 of 4 from downtown. She has a total of 7 points. The foul on the previous play, Fanshawe ball. That was on Rita Sebo. Andrew gets denied by Sebo. And back come the Thunder. Sebo guarded by Andrew. Spins up to the left side. Kicks it outside. Thompson finding Sebo again. 8 in the shot clock. And drains the jumper.
Thunder have all the momentum at this point.
And Sebo with the steal to Branker. And it's a timeout by the Fanshawe Falcons. Barber's chair timeout as the Algonquin Thunder find their way back into the game and have their first lead of the game as well.
Yeah, good steal and a good fast break executed to near perfection. But man, oh man, having Peck back on the floor, it almost felt like it was a game changer in terms of the Algonquin momentum, especially from a Fanshawe team that was one of the top in the West Division, Aaron.
Absolutely. Tied for first place, but remember, Humber got the tiebreaker. 17-1 record, and like I said before, there are 3 of 4 teams that are left that are in the West Division. That includes Humber and St. Clair. Their only loss was from the Humber Hawks, 86-81, but that was at the beginning of the season before they started a fantastic winning streak.
Yeah, absolutely. Finishing off the regular season in total with a double-digit win streak, 15-plus victories entering the tournament, including their first round matchup in the crossover. And we knew Fanshawe was going to be one of the contenders in this tournament. It was just a matter of how they played against teams such as this. What a great second half so far for the Thunder.
And the Thunder have outscored the Falcons, get this, 16-3 since the second half has begun. So Fanshawe finds himself in the hole for the first time this afternoon. Andrew sends it over. 2 passes later, inside Jordan. Warren shoves it over, almost lost control of the ball. Jordan through the double team and finds Cotton, who misses the 2.
Couple different plays where that could have been broken up there by the Thunder. Need to be smarter on the passes.
Sebo with the crossover dribble. And she takes the 3 of her own. Can't drain it.
And 9 times out of 10, Sebo will make you pay from that point of the floor. 2 defenders just switching at the same time. Left her open.
Andrew with it behind the back. And finds Jordan. Throws an overhead to Warren. Fades away. And it goes off the top iron. And here's Michaela Branker. Branker dribbling right inside of the baseline and throws it out of bounds.
Got too many hands at the same time. That part of the floor just blocked the visual to see. And remember, Andrew is one player we're expecting to be a key part of Fanshawe for a lot of reasons, including being the player of the year for the entire OCAA.
And as well as the West Division, a National All-Canadian, and the West Division First All-Star as well. So she was one of the few players that cleaned up house at the Athletics Banquet Thursday night.
Yeah, she actually set a record for free throw efficiency too in the campaign, 60 for 67, Aaron.
What a finger roll from Michaela Wright. That was smooth as it can be.
Great play by the West Division Defensive Player of the Year that time.
And here's a 3. They count that as a long 2 this time as Jody Jiris gets on the scoreboard today.
Yeah, put on the line that time, but again, the Thunder starting to get their offense to work.
And it's stolen by Peck, who could not control it as it goes right onto the sideline. And Ariel Gagnon checks back in.
Yeah, this has been some great defense, but you can see right here, no one covering the corner whatsoever. Everyone was focused up at the top board towards the paint. Where's the defense is all you can say.
And that's where you really want to apply the pressure.
And we've seen a lot of the pressure coming, forcing them to make mistakes on the outside. The Thunder have now forced Fanshawe to basically go away from that.
54-49 is the score. 4:30 left here in the third. Abdallah to Rita Sebo. Sebo dribbling off Andrew. Foul on the play, no basket.
And the fouls just keep piling up for Fanshawe. You have to start worrying about players being in foul trouble. See right there, I think it's in part because that arm you've seen go behind your neck almost. That was the initial reason they might have blown the whistle there.
So Gagnon will inbound it from the sideline. 4:22 left here in the third. Peck, it is taken away by Wright. She has running room, and she'll take it all the way.
Well, you can read that one like a coloring book, so to speak. You can see it was going right back to the top. They've done that a few times.
Abdallah puts it up and in. We may be in the presence of a shootout here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now both teams going back and forth with defensive plays.
The steal by Sibo. Goes for the Euro step, but she travels. That has to be the second time she's done that in the game.
Yeah, second time where she's been smothered and tries to separate herself for the move. But you can see here on the replay, great awareness to see that pass coming. Came from the middle of the floor all the way up to the top of the arc. But you see just that step before she tries to draw that contact is the reason for the travel.
And you know, the moment you get in front of your opponent, that opens up a whole lot of opportunities, especially on the defensive end.
Well, you need to have the awareness, though, as mentioned, though, to know those types of passes are coming, to be able to anticipate the passing lanes, jump on those passing lanes.
Right, triangle pass to Anjou, finding Van Dyke. And Van Dyke has cut this lead to 3.
Great passing from Fanshawe, even with some of their turnovers.
Franker, tough shot, and she gets it to go. Whoa, my.
And Algonquin starting to get that their interior plays together. Was expecting to be like this potentially.
Andrew driving into the double team, flings it up, no good. And back comes Sibo and Algonquin. Gagnon for 3. Can't fill it. It's a 5-point game. Wright sets up, fires it, and scores.
To see that happening, Wright has been very confident throughout this entire game today, Aaron.
One possession game once again. Peck spins around over Van Dyke, but can't get it to go. Fanshawe looking for the tie. The ball goes in the hands of Wright. She has 30. Andrew, leaner, no good. Andrew the rebound, poked around.
And too many bodies there as they scramble for the ball, and already Fanshawe looking explanation. You're going to see why here. You can see a bit of an arm grab between Andrew and Sibo right off the ball before the whistle called for those two players tied up.
They were caught right up in the low post, so it will stay with Fanshawe with 2:18 to go.
Cotton and Peck were tied up in two different instances right there where you could have had the foul pop up.
Andrew, the crossover dribble. Finds LeBlanche. Cotton. Back to Andrew, trying to drive. Shot clock winding down and gets rejected by Brianna Thompson. Sibo. Inside. Thompson. Can't fill it. So the ball will stay with the Thunder with under 2 minutes to go. Meanwhile, Legacy Blackbird checks in.
Take a look at the last play. She drove straight into the block. They were expecting that to come. And if she was able to see, she had someone open to her right for an open jumper.
The ball will stay with Algonquin, but good hustle from Fanshawe right down the basket.
Yeah, they're not allowing anything to go in their inbounds plays.
Franker outside, and she misses it. Good hustle from Jody Giris, but they'll turn the ball over.
Still a crucial situation to try and control momentum in these next couple minutes here, Aaron.
Fanshawe looking for the tie. They're only down 3. Instead, Wright will bring it in herself, and she draws the foul. This is something that we've been talking about since the start of this tournament. One way to get back into the game is go to the line.
Yeah, Wright seen that opportunity, I think, potentially there with a lot of bodies, drawn the contact, and now the 73% shooter gets to add to what has been one of her best games, if not the best game this season. 31 points, Aaron. Had scored 20-plus points 4 times in the season.
And she's perfect from the free throw line today, 2 of 2. 6 double-doubles. That says a whole lot, honestly.
Yeah, she's a strong rebounder as well, and we've seen she's been good at forcing steals.
Branker through the double team. Sebo locates the double team. Jarris misses a shot. The putback, very short. The reverse is no good, but Thompson is set to go to the line.
Yeah, again, the defense is forcing a lot of these panic shots there. That first option was really good. It broke through the double, but as you see there, too much defense forces the first block. You need to get the rebound, though. Actually knocks out the mouthpiece of the Algonquin Thunder player on the 3rd attempt.
And Bill Carrier thought that was a clean block. But when you get contact with something like, say, for a mouth guard, that's going to draw a lot of attention. Meanwhile, Brianna Thompson's at the line, 48.5% from the field, from the free throw line. She misses the first. Scored a career-high 11 points against St. Lawrence on February 21st. She splits the pair of free throws as Thompson has 3 points for the afternoon. They're up 2 with a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Andrew to camera.
Keep it on the top.
Warren gets the back cut from LeBlanche, and she puts it in.
A lot of good movement to have themselves keep on rotating to the preferable matchup up on the top.
Sebo finding Branker. And gets the pass right back. 9 on the shot clock. And here's Jarris outside. It's no good. And Warren gets the ball. Andrew. Warren. And the ball gets poked away. Good defense from Algonquin. Sebo brings the ball right back up. Shot clock dead. Game clock 8. Down to 5. And kickball is called.
And that's gonna give them a chance to reset the play here, but you have to be smart in the shot selection. This next shot can definitely affect how these teams approach the start of the 4th.
Strong to Sebo, fires it away. It rims in and out, and that's it for the 3rd quarter. 10 more minutes of basketball to go, and I guarantee you it's going to be a good 4th quarter. At the end of 3, Algonquin and Fanshawe tied at 59. We'll be
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Barron Championship rings. This is who we are.
Back at the St. Clair College Sportsplex, about to start the 4th quarter between the Algonquin Thunder and the Fanshawe Falcons, tied at 59. And I'm Aaron Sanders with JP Justin Prince, Lamont's On-Time Express broadcast booth. This is game 1 of the semifinals, and it has lived up to the great expectations so far, JP. What did you take away from the 3rd quarter?
Well, Algonquin has absolutely been able to adjust to exactly what they needed to do in that 3rd quarter comeback. They started getting the points in the paint. rolling in. They closed that deficit on the stat sheet to just a -4, 26-22 in comparison's sake. They've also been able to force a lot of turnovers now in the past quarter or so. 6 turnovers from the Fanshawe Falcons. Of those, that came from a couple of steals for the Algonquin Thunder. 9 total steals, in fact, in that third quarter alone.
And how about Sierra Peck coming back from a possible ankle injury in the second quarter? That was a huge difference.
And on triple-double watch, too. She's been crucial on the glass. She's been crucial when it comes to steals. She's been crucial when it comes to assists as well, with 8 total. Keep an eye on her as well as Peck, as well as Sebo.
The fourth quarter is underway, and Fanshawe will get the ball back. Tied at 59. Remember, both of these clubs, one of the league leaders in points per game. Fanshawe, first place, 83%. Algonquin, third place, nearly 78%.
Well, 77.8 points per game is what you mean in that regard, but look at this.
It's a tie-up between Sebo and Anjou. So the Algonquin Thunder will get the ball back as we're 40 seconds in here to the fourth quarter. One thing to take in, too, in that third quarter, Algonquin outscored Fanshawe 23-15.
Yeah, especially that strong run to start the quarter, 16-3. Put them back in the conversation. Like I said in the first half, one run was the difference.
Loose ball on the floor. Will it be another tie-up? No, it will not. There's a foul on the play. And that will be a foul on Sierra Peck. And fourth foul, so she has to be careful the rest of the way. A correction, they turned it to her second foul.
Yes.
But regardless, if she gets into foul trouble, that's going to be an issue. Traveling called on Fanshawe.
Yeah, just too many steps, shuffling the feet, one trying to cut into the basket.
Here's Sebo, cross courts over to Gagnon. Abdallah. Branker from outside, got it.
And it was pointed for Branker to start to wake up in that third quarter, or I mentioned because of her 0 for 7 shooting. We discussed that before coming back. Now in double-digit points, all of them coming into the second half.
11 points and an offensive foul.
And a huge offensive foul here. This might turn the tides to the Thunder once again. Reason for this? You can see right there a bit of that move. You see a bit of contact there, just the very edge of your screen. Warren didn't set her feet trying to set that screen. Sebo made contact with it and turn Algonquin possession.
And the foul trouble is piling up for Fanshawe at the moment. Good feed inside to Abdallah. She banks it in. Abdallah makes it 64-59. Jordan to Cotton. The ball goes back to Jordan. She dribbles right now into the baseline. Branker almost stole the ball, but it goes out of bounds.
Great defense from Branker on the cross-court pass. Seeing it was coming into that open space, close that gap quickly.
Right with the ball, gets the fake on Branker. Tries to find Jordan. 3 on the shot clock. It's taken away by Michaela Branker again. Branker to Sebo. The ball gets tapped around and Jordan gets it back. Cross-court pass to right. Gets the fake. Tight ropes the baseline. 2 passes later, it's Anjou getting the step on Sebo. Anjou for 3. Put her there!
Beautiful step back to get away from the defense.
It's a 2-point Thunder lead. Gagnon. Sebo outside. Off the top. It will be over a back foul.
Yeah, and at this point, these teams definitely know these could be crucial. This might go back and forth all the way down to the stretch here. And this is, mind you, with some of these teams, they had some dominating games. This is one of the tightest game action we've seen between these two teams probably they've had for the respective sides all season.
One of the most dramatic games we have seen in the tournament as well. As Andrew drives right inside, gets the elbow, and it's an offensive foul. And once again, the aggression is piling up here for the Fanshawe Falcons.
Yeah, you see trying to push right off of Sebo. But she's been trying to do that a lot when she's gotten the ball, when she's trying to go for the step back. She's been trying to separate herself by using a bit of the elbow. And a lot of times, that's going to draw a contact and a foul like that.
And with that, Andrew picks up another foul. Second team foul for Fanshawe. Sebo tries to spin around. And the ball gets deflected, and Warren takes it away.
Great defense to prevent that pass to the cutting breaker.
Wright is up top, guarded by Branker. Jordan gets the ball back. 7 on the clock. Wright for 3. Yes!
And she's been doing that all game long, Aaron, from beyond the arc. That time she spun her defender all the way away.
She's now 5 of 9 with 35 points. Whistle up top.
Yeah, too much contact. When two players tied up, it looked like Thompson tied up with, I believe, Jordan. But take a look. You've seen Sebo got spun out of her matchup and elected instead to go inside. No one came back to defend right on the perimeter.
They gave up 3 points because of that, and Mackenzie Van Dyke checks back in for the Falcons. But Michaela Wright, my goodness, 14 to 21 from the field, 5 of 9 from downtown, a total of 35 points at the moment. She's 2 points away of tying Kendra Oliver for the most points scored in a game in this tournament. Cross-court pass, Branker gets out of there in time. And the whistle on the play.
Now 2 personal fouls in this possession all of a sudden, and now next foul puts Fanshawe over the limit.
And we're almost 5 minutes into this quarter, and that's something that has to be concerning for Big Terrier and company.
Yeah, it's got to absolutely be concerning because the one thing is a lot of the fouls have been balanced amongst the players on the team. There's not really too many players over 3 personal fouls. It's the problem of the quantity of them has brought, again, the Thunder to the line so many times that helped them in that first half.
Shot clock winding down, and Jarris can't get the 3 to go. She gets it right back. Gagnon over to Sebo, dribbles right near the baseline, fakes around, puts it up, no good, but they'll send her to the line.
And again, Algonquin will try and make you work for this. Great try by Sebo to get 2 defenders to bite and jump on that play.
That'll be the 3rd foul on Michaela Wright. And here's Sebo back at the line again. She has 15, make that 16. Still perfect from the free throw line.
And there's been differences in attacks approaches from the offense today, Aaron. It's been more of a balanced scoring attack from the Thunder. 4 players in double digits. Compare that to Fanshawe, where it's been Wright controlling the majority of the offense in this game. Just 2 in double digits, her and Andrew.
Wright 35, Andrew 10. Game tied up at 65 as the Falcons trying to regain the lead once again. Van Dyke at the top of the key. Hands it off to Cotton. Cotton driving inside, kisses off the glass, no good. Loose ball on the floor. Cotton picks it right up, and Wright gets it at the corner. Wright for 3. Off the mark. Van Dyke almost got a hand on it. And Gagnon takes it right away. And Algonquin pushes it up the court. Sebo to Gagnon. And she passes it right back. Shot clock winding down. The ball's taken away. This time the good hands from Ashley LeBlanc. Right. Jordan, foul.
Got him to jump again. See if we can take a look right here. You can see. You see the jump. Able to get Siebel to jump, and that forces everyone to have to collapse in to protect the paint. Drives right to the brick wall to draw the foul.
Big opportunity coming up as Jessica Jordan is at the line. This is the first free throw. She shoots 60.9% from the free throw line in the regular season. Second-year guard from Chatham. Misses both. But getting the rebound was Allison Cotton. Andrew with a drive in from the right, fires it up. It's no good. But the Fanshawe Falcons go back to the free throw line again.
Big trip coming up here for Andrew, the top free throw shooter in the OCAA. You can see that contact from behind at first, and then the additional contact coming from Thompson. Draws the Bombers' sure timeout because this is a crucial trip to the stripe.
And it's called by the Algonquin Thunder, and at this point for the Thunder, not only box out, but at the same time, you have to be wise with your shots as well.
Yeah, they didn't have the box out on that previous trip to the stripe, and it allowed them the opportunity to now have to deal with it again. Take a look once again. You can see space wide open. They're starting to again struggle on perimeter defense, and that was popping up in times in the second quarter. We discussed that. It seems like now that the defense is starting to focus again on the interior because Fanshawe's been there majority of the time. In turn, the outside has opened back up for the Falcons.
This Tuesday, We Digital presents the 15th Annual Westby Awards with the keynote guest speaker, Herman Moore from the Detroit Lions. Remember, tickets are $150. Doors open at 6 p.m. and the awards start at 7 p.m. For more information, you could visit thewestbys.ca, and you could watch the stream on Facebook Live and WeDigital.ca. Shuad Andrew at the line. When it comes to scoring in the fourth quarter, both of these clubs have scored 6 points. But Shuad Andrew has been waking up here in this second half as she now has 11 points as she knocks down her first free throw of the day.
Had to wonder when she was going to start piling on some points because she's taken a lot of shots in this entire tournament. Already more than 20 field goal attempts. But that's the type of player she is. The more shots you allow her off, the more likely she's going to make those shots.
It is a 2-point Fanshawe lead. Peck, to the top of the key. Franker, 6 on the clock. Finds Sibo, going for the reverse, misses it, puts it right back and up and no good. Loose ball on the floor. Van Dyke ties it up with Peck, and it'll be a jump ball.
And a huge possession arrow there by Fanshawe to draw that on that rebound attempt.
This is a big defensive stop coming up for Algonquin. Fanshawe looking to expand this lead to 2 possessions. Andrew driving and a foul. That will be on Rita Sibo, her second.
And that's a big one there now because Fanshawe just entered the bonus for the first time this game. The reason Andrew got so much space, the defense all focused on the right side of the court. That opened up the opportunity for Andrew to get that ball on the left side. And Sibo overcommits and goes right into her.
And knocks down the first free throw. 68-65. There's a 4-point Fanshawe lead with under 4 minutes to go here in regulation. Sibo with the ball. Gagnon. And it's battered away by Jordan. She takes it, but Sibo gets it right back and saves it from going out of bounds. Thompson with the ball. They have to hurry up. 8-second violation coming up, and they break it.
They gotta shoot it.
Ball, the shot clock violation. Great hustle from the Fanshawe Falcons.
I think they thought there might have been a change of possession or reset of the shot clock. That wasn't the case because it was only tapped by Jordan. But that was baited into that situation because it was similar to what we've seen when Andrew got the ball on the Fanshawe side of the court. Sibo had some space on the left side of the court. Thing is, Jordan tricked them into playing that pass and jumped on the passing lane to force the turnover attempt.
Noor Abdullah checks back in for the Thunder as Fanshawe leads 69-65. Andrew outside, got it!
They doubled early. They've stopped the double teams. Now Andrew's waking up.
Sebo fires a three. She gets it in. Oh my! How will Fanshawe respond? Right. Inside to Warren. Hands it right back over. Andrew, another three. Putter there! That's clutch from Shuat Andrew. Waking up here in the fourth quarter. It's a 7-point game. Ranker crosses over Jordan, and it's taken away by Andrew. Andrew, she has running room. She flips it up and draws the foul.
What a past couple minutes from Andrew. Great play calls the pass to possessions up for Fanshawe. The steal in the third time. You can see forces 3 defenders over to keep an eye on the post. Leaves Andrew wide open, and that does exactly what the play intended. Gets their top scorer and top player open for the triple.
Barber's chair timeout for the Algonquin Thunder. And coming up in August on We Digital is the return of Fratman football. St. Clair Fratman football. And we hope to have you along for the ride as the Fratmen look to win the Ontario Football Conference Championship. That's going to be an interesting season to say the least. And that's coming up in August here on We Digital. From football to basketball now, we go back to this game. Jamie McLean, there has to be a whole lot of work to do as they're down 7 with 2:30 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the defense is starting to crumble, and they're starting to press again. Fanshawe has been forcing turnovers with their passes again. Fanshawe has forced them, or in turn, Algonquin's almost switched, it seems, back to their outside shooting. And as we've seen in the first half, Fanshawe forced multiple turnovers and had a big run in part because of that's how they started the game offensively. So at this point, Coach McLean has to have been telling his team, you cannot afford to make silly mistakes. You have to be careful with your passes. Be prepared for players to overcommit on the passing lanes and jump if it appears to be too open. You need to be smart.
Andrew has 20 points now. Make that 21 as it's now 77-68. Fanshawe has outscored Algonquin 18-9 here in the fourth quarter. Peck guarded by Andrew. Ranker up top. Under 2 minutes to go. Peck looking for options. Finds Gagnon outside and is taken away by Cotton. Great hands from her. They advance the ball up the court. Cotton picks it right down. And Andrew picks it right up. Whistle on the play. Out of bounds.
Tough break for the Falcons there, but better defense prior to that. Because we've seen the Algonquin Thunder go through all their play progressions and essentially force them to panic out of that pass for the turnover.
Abdallah with the ball, double teamed, and it's batted out of there by Michaela Wright. And Algonquin keeps the ball with 1:41 remaining here in the fourth. Sebo guarded by Jordan, fires a three, can't hit it.
Not a smart shot in this type of situation.
Both clubs are in the bonus the rest of the way. Cotton hands it back to Wright, fires it up, can't put it in, but the Fanshawe Falcons return to the free throw line. And they've been doing just that since the second half started.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay for the reason. Quick give and go. You see right there, Sebo switching to guard right instead of guarding the post of Cotton. Ends up overcommitting.
Make that 36 points from Michaela Wright. And she misses it. Warren bats it out of there. And it will be Algonquin. It will be Fanshawe ball.
That's huge. That's huge to go off of the Thunder.
Right inside, taken away by Peck. Foul on the play.
See which way this goes. She tried to go over the shoulder. It looked like Peck. The whistle came after that collision there, I believe. Just a second after she went over the shoulder of, I believe it was Cotton.
That foul will be on Sierra Peck. That's her 4th personal. Allison Cotton at the line. 66.7% free throw shooter. She misses the first. Cotton has 4 points, but however, 8 rebounds today. She misses both, and Warren gets the rebound. She fights through the traffic. Outside, Jordan for 3. Off the mark. And it will go to Algonquin with 112.
I believe a foul called on the play as well. That's going to bring the Thunder to the stripe. But where is the box out? We've seen this a couple times now in this fourth quarter when they've been at the free throw line. The Fanshawe has. You need to get in the proper positioning to get those rebounds. In turn, it's put them in a box.
Michaela Branker has 11. She's at the line. She fills it. And drains them both with ease. 78-70 is the score.
Expect the press.
And there it is. Right, breaking through the press. And gives it to Warren, who shovels it into Cotton. And the reach-in foul on Noor Abdullah.
And I think they might have noticed that previous trip Cotton had with the 2 missed free throws and said, you know what? We're down by 8. We cannot afford to burn too much time. Just take the foul and force Cotton to go back to the stripe.
And she misses the first free throw. This has been a close one since the 3rd quarter. And Cotton splits the pair, 79-70. And look at Sebo, making sure he doesn't touch the ball. Now she does. Under a minute. Branko for 3. She misses it. Peck tries to give it to Abdallah. And it rims in and out. Warren looking for options. Finds Cotton again, and that's where Abdallah will foul.
And that might be just about it at that point, unless they get some luck here again at the stripe, because Branker at the start of that previous possession had the great opportunity to hit the 3. Just I think the miss in part was forced, in part because she couldn't handle that pass. And in turn, she had to rush the shot to take advantage of the opening.
10-point lead for Fanshawe. The winner of this will play for gold tomorrow. The loser of this will play for bronze. And Branker ahead of the pack. Trying to find a shot. And here's Gagnon. And she misses it from downtown. Branker puts it right back up. Will not get the foul. It will stay with Algonquin.
Just couldn't keep it in bounds, falling back, but the Thunder need a bit of a miracle here to be able to close up 11 points in 34 seconds.
It's possible. It's a matter of getting the shot off immediately. Branker is taken away by Warren. Andrew trying to break through half court. She does. It's a foul on Sierra Peck. And if it is officially on Peck, that will end her game.
Either way, that appears to be all she wrote in that type of situation. As yes, indeed, that is Peck on the personal for a 5th, Aaron.
So Sierra Peck fouled out, but ended up with 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists, 5 of 6 from the line, 4 of 10 overall. and she was able to bounce back from an ankle injury early on in this game. And Andrew might have capped the game off right here with those free throws.
What a stellar second half for her. And a stellar fourth quarter overall with this Bombers chair timeout. Andrew, double-digit points scored in this quarter to help close it out. Fanshawe had an absolute scare, especially with the Thunder with that strong third quarter. But again, they played well in the first half. They went back to what worked in that first half and forced the Thunder into that box. And in turn, they've executed.
The winner of this game will play the winner between the Humber Hawks and the St. Clair Saints game. That's the second semifinal game in this tournament. Set to tip off around 6 p.m. And you can catch the action here on We Digital Productions. So once again, the bracket is like this. The winner of Algonquin and Fanshawe plays for the gold medal tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. The loser of this will head to the bronze medal game. That is set for 1 p.m. right here tomorrow afternoon. And Fanshawe is 14 seconds away from going back to the gold medal game for the second year in a row.
Again, a stellar game for them. That third quarter wasn't their best, but the fourth quarter, just too much for the Thunder to handle, especially on the defense.
They've outscored the Thunder 25-11 here in the fourth quarter. And Jordan finds Warren. 19 seconds. And Warren dribbles right inside. 5 on the shot clock. Andrew. And they will use up all the clock. Warren gets denied by Thompson. It'll be a shot clock violation with 8 seconds to go. So the Fanshawe Falcons will be back on the podium regardless as far as OCAA medals is concerned. Sebo will bring it up to Branger. The Algonquin Thunder season will stay around as they play for bronze. 3 is good for Ariel Gagnon. 9/10 to go, and that's it. The Fanshawe Falcons move on to the gold medal game as they defeat the Algonquin Thunder 83-73. Algonquin will play for the bronze tomorrow afternoon, but the Fanshawe Falcons back in the gold medal game for the second year in a row. That's your final. Dominic Papa for the post-game wrap-up in just a moment.
Mont's On Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAT, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
I want to understand why.
I want this to be perfect.
I want to be inspired.
I want to be challenged. No matter the reason, our passion to learn brought us here.
Hey, Herman Moore here, Detroit Lions legend and 4-time Pro Bowl player. Hey, get your tickets and join me for the 15th Annual Westby Awards on Tuesday, March 10th at the Caboto Club.
The 15th Annual Westby Awards are brought to you in part by Unifor Local 444, Lucier Glove and Safety, Hotham Building Materials, AM 800 CKLW, and We Digital Productions.
Are you passionate about a particular sport? Would you like to combine it with your education? Are you thinking about a career in one of the many rewarding construction-related trades? Do you love subjects like science, technology, engineering, or math? Take a look at the academies of the Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board. You'll be glad you did. And years from now, you'll look back on your high school days as the best times of your life. The academies of the Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board. We're with you all the way.
Hi, I'm DJ Smith, head coach of the Ottawa Senators. For the best in local sports coverage, We Digital.
Welcome back to the St. Clair College Sportsplex, the 2020 OCAA Women's Basketball Championships continuing on here. The Fanshawe Falcons will have a chance to repeat their gold medal of last year. They just made it into the final after defeating the Algonquin Thunder 83-73. The player of the game for the Fanshawe Falcons, no question about it today, Michaela Wright joins us. Michaela, congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all, how good does it feel to get back to that title game?
Feels good. That was a really tough battle that we did there, and it just feels good to know that we have a chance to repeat.
Okay, let's talk about preparing for this game. Algonquin played you tough. What was key, do you think, in Coach Carrier's preparation that ensured the victory here?
Just making sure that we knew what we were up against.
Okay, I need you to...
Okay.
Yeah.
They're a really good team, so our coaches just prepared us well, just knowing a couple of their plays, knowing the tendencies of the players. Yeah, we're just well prepared for this game.
Is it to the point, Michaela, where, I mean, yeah, you're always worried, not worried, but you want to know what the team's going to be doing, but is it just really a matter of how, because your team is so very good, just play your game?
Yeah, our coach always tells us to just play our game. We try not to let people get to us or like other teams when they go on runs. We know that we're going to have ours too. So we just try to stay composed and play good game.
A pretty good first half, but then Algonquin comes out in the second half and they just start lighting it up. Yeah. But boy, the alarm bells I'm sure are going there on the Fanshawe bench. What happened and what changed?
First of all, my teammate Truat was in foul trouble first half, so she came alive in the second half. Shout out Chu. But yeah, pretty much we just knew they were going to go on runs. We were expecting it. They're a really good team. So yeah, we were expecting it, but we knew that we had to come out on top. So we just played tough denied defense and did what we had to do.
36 points for you today. My oh my. Coach is going to want to know what you ate for breakfast today and probably repeat it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your game today and the focus you had.
This is my 5th year, so I didn't want my year to end on a loss. Obviously, I wanted to have a chance to play for the gold medal again with my team, and that's pretty much it. That's what drove me this game, just to help my team anywhere I could and get the win to move on for tomorrow.
Well, I don't know what's going to be driving you tomorrow, but it's probably pretty damn good again.
Hopefully.
So, yes, congrats on everything, Michaela.
Thank you.
Job well done. You can join your teammates and celebrate this victory. Appreciate the time. That's our player of the game, Michaela Wright of the Fanshawe Falcons. Outstanding here this afternoon. She lit it up big time and put her team in position to hopefully claim another gold medal. I'm sure that's what they're hoping for. So we're going to take a break now. We're going to come back here at the 6 o'clock hour. I'll say 5:55. We'll have the second semifinal for you. It'll be the host team, the St. Clair College Saints, taking on the Humber Hawks. We'll have all the action for you right here on We Digital Productions. That's it for now. Until 6 p.m., we'll see you again. This is Dominic Papa wishing you a great day. Take care, everybody. We'll talk again soon.